Hey, TJ. Good morning, Mark. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's a little bit of snow on and off, but not that much. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Not too bad, Paul. Thought you said you were coming on at past.
Well, I was, but my plans changed.
All right.
But we're glad you're here now.
Uh-huh.
I called Joe and told him that it wasn't going to be, just at 8:30. It was going to be closer to 9 o'clock, and he said, "Okay." So Joe will probably show up here shortly.
Uh-huh. Right. Have you still got to go to your appointment, though?
No, we can't. The
All right.
appointment was canceled.
Oh, okay.
So what's new with you? Anything?
No, nothing really.
How you doing with your health issues?
I'm still trying to get rid of this cold. Hi,
Yeah,
Brenda.
I can hear it. Hey, Brenda. DJ, are you at work or are you at home? Brian, how you doing? Here comes Joe now.
I wound up on Johnny's show for a few minutes. He was on this morning, reminding everybody tonight.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
As soon as I sat down, I put it on. He's on. I said, "Look at this." I don't get the notifications like I should.
Well, you've been having all kinds of issues lately.
Well, I haven't got notifications from YouTube in months. They don't do it anymore for some reason.
Huh?
I get some every once in a while. I didn't even get yours.
Really?
It's crazy. I don't know why. But I'm gonna have to find out how to get into this BIOS and change this thing because it is running slow. And I'm trying to I'm going back and trying to, there's only one other program I put on here. And I'm thinking about yanking that one off. I think it could be it because it's telling me to log in. And if I don't think it's running enough. Because right now everything's working good, but I've rebooted.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Yeah, it's not. I got a Canon menu running, which is using nothing. The
TJ
Google
says
Chrome.
he gets notifications all the time. TJ says.
he, he, okay, he thinks he does. Let's see.
TJ's off today and tomorrow.
Well, then why isn't he here?
He's got to get into gear. What's he gearing up for?
To wake up, maybe?
I don't know. Oh, get into gear. Okay.
Were you in reverse right now or something? You have a freaking car?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, he's a Model TJ.
Yeah, that's it. TJ.
I printed some new bumpers for the Avata 2, the greatest drone ever.
Hey, did you see somebody did a review of the Flip and the Neo, and they said, oh, it was what's his name? Oh God, you know, me and names just
Your name is
anyway,
Paul.
he did was flying around a hotel with the Neo, and he even went into the elevator, up the elevator, and opened the doors and came out again.
And it flew.
It flew.
Well, mine don't fly.
What's the guy
Mine won't do it.
what's the guy that drives around in the old police car?
Oh, that's Ken Herron.
Ken Herron. Ken Herron did a video.
I like these new bumpers. I like that they're slick like that. It doesn't have the things like this on 'em.
Yeah, right.
I like these. I just don't. They look like they aren't good. I guess I'll find out when I fly it.
Yeah, it looks good.
I think it would give me. I think it's going to be more aerodynamic because it's slick. You know, you're taking all of these little holes out of the equation.
Yeah.
But I like the orange because you can see it.
Now, did you
Yeah,
print that?
Yeah, I printed that last night.
Now, do you
They-
got
they
any
look-
shooting? You got any shooting to do this week?
Not today. So tomorrow I got that banquet, and then I've got Friday night game.
Okay. Laura, Laura said hello to you in her own special way.
Oh, I know she does. I totally expect it all the time, so I don't care. I tried to make these like this. You can't really see it, but I've got USA, drone, and flyer holes all the way through it. But the TPU, it won't come out clean.
Ah. Hey, Justin, how's it going?
I'm looking at the chat saying, "Where's Justin?" I don't see him in the chat.
He's popped on the screen.
Yeah, I see him. I want to look in there. I look in the wrong place.
No, what I was trying to say last night in the chat, but nobody was really paying attention, is the New Jersey drone thing was the FAA was actually doing testing over New Jersey. So
Yeah,
some
that's
of
what they
those
said.
are actually theirs. The other ones, and then there was a lot of hobbyists that were flying around because of the hypo going on around it. So they knew everybody who was there. So
Justin, Andrew, Laura.
yeah.
Yeah, they knew it was the aliens. They're just not telling them.
Well, in my opinion is if it was really aliens, we would never see them.
Well, the thing is if obviously it's not a big deal because if it was, Trump would have made a big deal about it. So that's a good thing for you guys.
They said it was a military contractor testing military drones out that the FAA had set up a flight path for.
Right. So that's good for the drone community.
Justin, did you see what Laura put in the chat?
No, because I'm not sitting at my desk.
It says, time to leave, Justin is here.
All right, bye-bye. Nobody's stopping you. No,
And when
but
we're here, it'd be better not to come in.
but that's the thing though. That's a good thing though, because that shows that it wasn't nobody doing something stupid. It wasn't military, other countries' militaries, nothing crazy like that. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Because we all know if it would have been something serious, Trump, trust me, you'd be hearing about the drone ban, the federal,
Yeah,
he'd have been signing some executive order banning drones.
yeah. Well, I tell you, start all next week. We got freaking a list of TFRs next week here in New Orleans because of freaking Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got TFRs starting on Monday.
Well, you
Now
get
it's
a lot
all
of,
on that side, but it's not here,
yeah, but in reality, you do get a lot of idiots trying to fly into sporting events. That's happened quite a few times. So that's just that to me is a little justifiable because there has been a history of that.
Yeah, but the TFR for the Super Bowl is kind of ridiculous. It comes all the way past me, over 30
oh,
miles.
really?
Yeah.
Well, is the president going to be there?
No,
That would explain why it would be that much.
no, it's 30 miles. They said they didn't say he was coming. And when they were here, when they were here,
Morning, Paul.
what you call it?
Yeah, but you got to remember too that 30 miles isn't for you guys as drone pilots.
Oh, that's for the
It's
planes.
regular
That's aimed at
aircraft.
the planes. You guys just get bundled into that, unfortunately. So, if they did special TFRs just for drones, that you guys probably wouldn't have that big of a radius.
Yeah,
they know you ain't
they
reaching
shouldn't be
30
more than
miles.
5 miles, or at least a
Yeah.
mile. I'd say 5 miles.
Well, the normal for an airport's 3 miles, isn't it?
I had
Like
a
I
plane
said,
catch on fire on a runway in Korea, full of DJI drones.
Like I said, the thing is like y'all complain, oh, that's so stupid, but they're not even thinking about y'all with them TFRs. They're thinking about
you're
the actual man planes, and y'all just get bundled up in there, unfortunately.
But you want to hear the funny part about it? When Biden was down here a few months back, he came down. We caught a TFR, and I looked at it, and all I have to do is drive 1.5 miles up the road, and I could fly.
Right.
Because I'm at about 33 miles out. It was 35 miles. So I was going to go up to the Walmart parking lot and fly the drone out of Walmart parking lot, and I'd be right outside the zone,
Yeah.
Now, I even think 30 miles is ridiculous, even for manned aircraft. Like 10 miles would be more realistic to me.
I thought they made it 45 if the president was there.
No, it's 35.
Uh,
Yeah, it might change depending on the location too.
Yes, whoever sets the limits,
Well, that's whatever. I'm sure the terrain
Probably the standard.
factors.
But I
into
saw one day, like I said, years back, man. It was years back because I've been here 16 years. I was walking outside, and I was out there with the kids, and I could hear a plane, but it sounded like military. So I looked up in the sky and I'm looking for it, and I see a plane coming in because we're on a runway path, and I see this plane coming in. I look up, and I can see the colors on it. And I said, "Hey guys, look up there," because the president was coming in at the time. I said, "Look, that's Air Force One." To the kids, they looked up and they said, "That's the president." I said, "That's the president's plane coming in," because you could see it, even though it was real small, right? What it was, because it was a bright day and it was glistening up there, like somebody put wax all over it. So we're watching it come in, and I looked to the side. I said, "But I hear military." So I'm looking around. I said, "Now look around at the different specks in the sky." We found 6 other planes in the sky right around it, escorting it in. All fighter jets.
the
just
Air Force One
cruising
doesn't
off to
have,
the side, you know?
like over like American airspace generally, they don't actually have escorts. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. You got a point. But that was an F around and find out moment right there.
I had to go to
we-
Olympia when Biden flew in May. I had to go that far south.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure the TFR probably would come into play too, like if there was certain threats that were made, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, you realize why the TFR was so large for Biden, right?
there we go. What is it?
Because he couldn't remember where it was.
Yeah,
Mm.
there it is.
Yeah, they had to allow for him wandering off into the jungle.
Yeah. He might have wandered off. Man, I want so much to find out what Barron Trump told him when he shook his hand and walked off, because he said something to him. Biden smiled and he turned around and had this look on his face like, oh shit, like this. And then Barron turned around and looked back at him. I really want to know what he said to him. I'm telling you, he said, F with my family again, I'll cut you 6 times.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder why some of these people talk about, like when Trump and Obama were sitting there looked like they were having a nice little chat, smiling and laughing, and that makes you just wonder what their conversation was about.
Yeah.
Lance,
he
are
was
you
telling-
on location or no?
Nope. I am.
He's dri-
It's foggy
he's driving.
on my way to work.
You're on your way to work, okay.
I have a terrible cold, but I have to go these next 2 days. Last 2 days of the semester. So I have to grade assignments and let kids turn the assignments in. So even
I
if I
bet you
could
it
go
always
today,
happens like that, huh?
So you got your job to perform.
and then Friday I can work from home. We can do our grades from home. So I'll do that on Friday. But
Why Friday? Is that a teacher's day or something?
say that again, Justin.
So what do you guys have, like a teacher's day on Friday or something?
It's the end of the semester, so the kids have it off, and we get a day to do grades. So we'll do grades, and then everyone starts on Monday.
We don't have any early release days left this year because they canceled all of them because of the stupid hurricane.
Yeah,
They gotta
because
make it
they
up.
missed for the storms.
Yep.
And we have late arrival every Wednesday. So I don't start. My first class starts at 10 o'clock today.
And the only reason counties do that in states is because of the federal government requires so many hours per week, per year.
Yeah.
Or so many days per year that students have to be in school. So
Yeah.
they have to make up for it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious to see what happens if they actually do X the federal school administration or whatever the fuck it's called, and see exactly what happens when states get to do their own shit. I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. Because they all have to follow a federal mandate at this point.
Mm. So how long do you get off between this semester and the next one then?
1 day, Friday.
Just one
Yep.
day.
1 day. Monday we start with new kids. I start with new kids. Not every teacher does. English teachers, math teachers, social studies, and one of my science all have the same kids, pretty much. But as selective teachers, usually I've got 2 classes that are year long, so I have the same kids. Then I have 3 classes that are going to be brand new.
Well, I mean, you call them semester, we call them terms. And between terms, they always get at least a week off, sometimes 2. And
Well,
then they get a week off at half term as well.
some districts do semesters. Our district in California, we actually did trimesters.
Yeah.
They went by trimesters. Which
Yeah,
don't ask me what the fuck that is because I'm not entirely sure what a trimester is. I've never actually looked it up.
It's like September to November, and then December to
3 months.
March, and March to July or June.
3 different ones. Same as we do. We have 3 terms.
And that's what I had in college. I had trimesters as well, but a lot of the colleges have semesters.
And just like in our high school, we had 6 main classes we went to. Like that was what you were assigned with every year. You had 6 classes, but and that was including your electives, all that. But you would go into a schedule where one day, because each class was an hour and a half long, so you would do Monday, you would do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the next day it'd be 5, 6, 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it would start over again.
Yeah, my daughter had 8 classes, and that's what they did. But they went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next day 5, 6, 7, 8. They just rotated all year long. My district, there's a couple high schools that do that or did. I don't know if they still do, but we're a traditional 6-period day where kids go to the same class the same time every day. And then, they have their 4 classes that they need, the math, English, science, and social studies. And then they get 2 electives that they get to choose. But they need to take 2 years of CTE, which is what I am. Or they need to pass the standardized state test. And nowadays, kids struggle to pass that test. So they always fall back on my class. So those that struggle taking tests, I get. So you know the as far as the efficiency of academics that the kids that I get compared to, say, a kid that can pass the test, he doesn't need to take me if he doesn't want to.
Speaking of,
I mean, we did 9 different subjects throughout the 5 years.
what I find talking about education, I find hilarious is how the UN tries to rate countries by how well they do in schools. And they'll say, oh, the United States is 14th in math. Well, the thing is each country sets their own standards of what they believe to be the correct way to teach. So how do you actually determine which country is doing better?
Don't know. Anyway, you should know what a trimester is. You've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
The full-term pregnancy is split into 3 trimesters, 3 months each.
If you had 4 kids, you would be on quarters.
Yeah.
Be a quartermaster.
They just they're showing the preparations for the Super Bowl next week, right? All the light poles in the French Quarter, they're wrapping them. They're putting a silicone on them,
So they can't climb them.
so that if they try to get on them, they can't climb.
Putting it on a bit early, aren't they? 2 weeks away.
Enough.
Might take them 2 weeks to do them all.
It's just figures New Orleans are taking their time.
Yeah, but if they're putting some kind of grease on there, that shit ain't gonna dissipate in 2 weeks.
No, it's not grease. It's a silicone. It's like a sleeve that they're putting on it.
Oh, it's a big condom. Should have just said
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just
Pole
on the
condom.
pole, and it's the same color as the pole, and it goes on, and then they were showing how it goes on, and then it's got a seam with like a glue, and they rip it off and then they glue it together. So they're probably going to leave them on,
Okay.
because what they do in the French Quarter, right, for Mardi Gras, the day before Mardi Gras, or the weekend before Mardi Gras, they go out that Friday and they bring members of the different organizations like the Pussyfooters or the like Rue La La, some of the different female groups. They'll come out all dressed up and they give them a ladder and they give them the grease and they get to grease the poles. Yeah, it's
Yes.
kind of nasty looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
we
let
don't
feminists catch
about that.
on to that little
Yeah,
tradition.
they be out there with their little tights on and all this stuff and be wrapping around the pole to grease it and hands all full of grease and everybody out there taking pictures.
Dude, the minute a feminist group catches on to that little tradition, you're gonna have protesters all up in your city.
And they'll tell them to leave.
This is my thing though, is if a girl, like say you open a restaurant like Hooters, right?
Yeah.
If a girl wants to apply to work there knowing that's what she's going to be doing, then that's on her at the end of the day,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it should be her choice.
Tell Trump that. Tell Trump that.
I'm sure he doesn't mind them working at Hooters.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with your politics ending up like a game of bridge. Yeah, you got that one. Perhaps some of the others didn't, but you.
I don't care. So far, I have not really been disappointed in anything he's done.
Well, it's the same as in Rummy. In bridge, there's a lot of hands getting trumped.
Like, I agree with the whole securing the border. I agree with the executive order that prevents the government from trying to weaponize itself against citizens over freedom of speech and all that.
Oh yeah.
I totally agree with that. That's 100% pro-constitution right there.
Yeah, probably is.
I don't see how you could label somebody a dictator that's actively fighting the government against censorship. And you literally added somebody to your group of advisors that literally spent $40 billion on a social media platform to prove a point, to say, I don't want people stifling freedom of speech. And Twitter has been the most open platform ever since he took it over. And look at what Facebook's doing now. Facebook, he's been hanging out with Dana White for the last year, learning jujitsu. And I think Dana White has had a big influence on Mark Zuckerberg. I don't think that everybody thinks that he's just doing this for a political reason. I don't think he is. I really think that he had an influence on Mark over the past year. And now that he's kind of gotten to where he's not being so censored, being attacked by the government, trying to censor him over disinformation, he has a chance to make his platform do a turning point. And that's why he's literally copying Elon on what X has done with the community note system and everything. Whether you agree with it or not, it does allow both sides to be able to talk openly.
I think one of the ones that I really agree with is the way that he made the cartels terrorist organizations so they can deal with them better.
Yeah, who the fuck can argue with that? I mean, come on now. That needed to be done.
Yeah, that should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, there's been multiple presidents all the way back to Clinton should have signed that shit. I mean, both sides have
people
failed
being
that.
deported right now.
I'm saying both sides, whether Republican or Democrat, every president since the 80s has failed to deal with these cartels all the way up to this point. And Reagan, I would say, yeah, because he did do the war on drugs. He did fight some of the cartels in Colombia and all that. But kind of like after the 90s up till now, nobody's done anything on either side.
All out there. Paul sounding like an old woman down the street. Mia, get inside.
So didn't Trump get his TikTok, not his TikTok, his, now I'm forgetting, what were we talking about?
Twitter?
His account, yeah, his Twitter frozen 4 or 5
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
he
right
did.
before Elon bought it though. When Elon bought it, Elon unfroze everybody's accounts that got banned. Even
Yeah.
the left,
Yeah.
even some accounts on there was a few accounts on the left that had gotten banned too for going really extreme, and he even unbanned them. I mean, that's why I said if you're going to be a true social media, it needs to be an open platform for both sides to be able to talk freely and not one side get shut down. I agree with that 100%. And I think if Facebook's doing the right thing by moving the same direction, it might force Google and other platforms to do the same thing. The thing is, these social media companies were acting as publishers, and they're not supposed to be acting as publishers. They had certain protections by being a social media platform, but they weren't acting as a social media platform. I'm waiting to see if anybody actually, if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna sell TikTok. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Do they want to sell TikTok? That's the other thing. I mean,
They
it's
didn't
China.
before the ban came along. Up to the
Yeah.
last day, they refused to sell it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm thinking, do they even want to, and do they care? We will go to the other countries. The other countries aren't banning us. There's,
Yeah, but they're losing a
But-
lot of money by pulling out of the
Well,
U.S.
yeah.
too.
well, yeah, for
Because you're
sure.
talking about 170 million accounts on their platform.
Yep.
And there's a lot of big creators on there that make them millions of dollars a year, so if
But
not
but
billions.
I
you
think
add it
this
up.
I think this group is going to fold and not ban TikTok anyway. They're gonna cave.
Well,
even if it-
technically it's already banned, but they only gave the power to the president to either be able to extend the stay of execution by 90 days, which he enacted,
I thought it was
or
75.
the ban has
90.
to go through. They did. He can't overturn it because Congress already passed it. It's in law.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
already
signed by
passed.
all three branches. So they would have to go back through the Senate and Congress and then be re-signed by the president in order to unban it.
Justin, lean forward. Lean forward. This is Trump. This is Trump we're talking about.
Yeah, but some of his executive orders he's already signed have been overturned by federal judges and are going to the Supreme Court.
Oh, they just
And
been,
he
they're going to
admitted
court.
that he knew that some of them were going to get challenged. I mean, he knew that from the beginning.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, he does care because what's happening, he needs some of them to be overturned so they'll get in the court system so that the court system will make the determination. Because when they get to the Supreme Court's going to make the final.
Because I totally agree with the birthright thing. That the 14th Amendment was originally designed for slaves back in the day that were
Right.
brought over here and then had children while they were here.
It is
That
specifically
shouldn't
says
apply
if
to
you're
people.
illegal, it doesn't count for you.
It shouldn't apply to people that there's literally I was watching like that that TV show that they have about customs, and you get to see the TSA agents dealing with people as they're coming in through customs. There
Yeah,
was
yeah,
literally
Yeah.
a couple of females that came through there that admitted that they were coming in just to have a baby so they could get that birthright.
Yeah.
And that show didn't have anything to do with any of that. It was a couple of years ago that episode was from.
Border Force or something.
And that's the thing is he wasn't lying. There isn't other countries around the world don't allow you to do that. We're kind of unique on that because most countries, if your parents aren't a legal resident or legal citizen of that country, your child automatically reverts to whatever country you're from. They become a citizen of that country.
Hello,
Yeah.
Donald.
Hi, Don.
I'm having my kids wear
Oh,
red
Donald.
today. All my kids will be wearing red today.
Ah,
Well, for Kansas.
Nope, red for Ed. And they asked me who Ed was, and I said, I'll tell you after we wear green for Gene, and then the next day we're going to wear black for Jack, and then plaid for Tad, and then blue for Sue. So we've got them all lined up.
A lot out.
So I don't know about you guys. Red signifies education up here. I don't know if it does in your guys' states or not, but red for Ed is what we call it. And every once in a while, teachers have a red for Ed day. Today's the red for Ed day. I'm gonna have my kids wear it. See how many wear it.
You get an A, you get an A, F, you get an A.
Exactly. I told them. I told my yearbook class, who I just love. I said, "Hey, I'll give you extra points." And one of the kids said, "Were you lying to us, or are you really going to give us extra points?" Like, yeah, you're one of the few that have a B minus. You're looking for that extra point. But she's a good kid, and she had red hair, and I said, "And your hair doesn't count."
And it can't be just their underwear either.
Yeah.
You don't want to see none of that.
It all depends on if they want TikTok to make money or if it serves an ideological purposes.
What I want is I want the kids to stay off TikTok during class time. That's what I want.
You can't do that thing like when they come into class, they all have to drop their phone in like a bucket or something.
Justin, lean forward. Lean forward.
Why can't you do that? You're not allowed to, or what? Some of the teachers here do that.
It's my constitutional right to hold whatever I want to.
Well, I'm saying some of the teachers here do that. They have to put their phones in a container, but when they come into class.
I think they're going to try to go that way here in the state of Washington, but they haven't yet. I have a no cell phone and no headphone policy in my classroom, unless it's for school use. But it's hard to enforce. I mean, kids sneak it out, and I tell them to put it away, and they pull it back out 5 minutes later. And
well, yeah. I mean, most of them say that they're using their calculators on their phones rather than buying a separate calculator.
well,
now.
can't. They have the technology to do internet blocking.
Except it's not allowed.
Yeah, it's illegal here. Jammers are illegal. Because I've said they should do that in prisons for years, because they have a problem with here in prisons, people getting a hold of cell phones and using them.
yeah, you can't have
what?
You can't have a classroom. You cannot have a classroom in the camera, or a camera in the classroom filming the kids.
No, we're talking about cell phone jammers, like signal jammers.
Oh, right.
Those are technically illegal in the U.S. for people to use those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing of it is if they came up with a regulation that allowed schools to individually jam internet signals within a certain area, and then they have signal-free areas for the kids when they're off, like doing whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, we live in a technical era. They should be able to figure that out.
it's difficult to make it so that some areas can and some areas can't, because the jammer works in a circle all the way around it. So
unless you hook it to an antenna that is a directional antenna.
We have something called a guest network, and we turn off the guest network during testing time, so the kids, when they test, they're testing on laptops, so they're using the bandwidth on the laptops and not their cell phones. So we turn it off, and the kids don't have access to the internet on their phones in the building for a couple days.
Well, that's like some of the internet
you still
services.
got internet access through your data allowance on your phone.
Yeah, some of them do, but some of them can't afford that, so they don't have data. So it doesn't hit everyone. You're right, Mark.
Yeah, because there's some kids that there's a lot of kids that get on our bus that don't have service on their phones, so they have to connect to the Wi-Fi on the bus in order to use their phones.
Exactly.
There's very few that actually have data on there.
But all of our buses and trams and trains have all got Wi-Fi access.
Yeah, it's pretty standard now. Now you actually have there's public Wi-Fi accesses too. Like when you're driving around my city, you'll get it and it will say, "Oh, would you like to sign up for Wi-Fi access to Spectrum?" And it will give you like a free 30-day trial or something. And it
Yeah.
will automatically keep connecting to their Wi-Fi hotspots as you're driving around and stuff if you sign up for it.
I can go in Tesco's and connect to Tesco's Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, you could do that here
Yeah.
too. Like a lot of stores have their own Wi-Fi that's free to customers. They'll have a business one that's locked, and then you'll see one that comes up that says customer, and it's open
Yeah.
and you can connect to
In
it.
fact, all the clinics and hospitals have got their own Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah, it's the same over here.
Yeah. And you get all the crowds outside McDonald's just so that they can use the Wi-Fi at McDonald's.
Oh, excuse me, guys. That's my cold kicking in.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
It didn't
Mine's
sound good.
on its way out, but it's still there.
Joe, you still don't have any signs of a cold anymore, do you?
No, I just got the sinuses acting up.
That's what I thought. Yours was mostly sinuses.
Yeah. I'm hoping mine's disappeared by Friday. Spent an hour or two yesterday chatting to David and setting up I'm going to Zoom call him during the funeral with my phone in the church, videoing it, and he's then going to transfer it on his OBD to a private YouTube stream so that the relatives that can't make it can watch it.
Can you, or what are you going to set your phone up on a tripod or what?
Yeah.
Make sure you plug it in because Zoom will kill your battery quick.
Oh,
Keep it plugged
I'm taking my power station with me.
Yeah, definitely because Zoom will live stream and will kill your battery real fast.
Your DJI power station 1000.
Oh no, it's just a little 240. It's only about a foot long and 6 inches square, nice and portable.
Well, is that going to provide enough power for the period of time?
Oh yeah, 240 kilowatt hours. Yeah,
that'd be plenty, even if it's a few hours long.
I've actually took it to the allotment with us, and we ran an electric drill on it for doing work on there. We were drilling through paving stones. Because there's no electric at the
What day is it,
allotment.
Mark?
What?
What day is the funeral?
Friday. Starts at, it's doing a private live stream, so only people that have the link can watch it.
Hey down. Hey down.
But it starts at 12 o'clock our time, which should be like 4 o'clock in the morning your time. But I am going to leave it on YouTube for a week or so anyway, so that like Alison, she's a nurse and she's not going to be able to watch it live, but she wants to watch it the next day when she's off.
You're going to put it unlisted on your channel?
Yeah. Well, it's going on David's because I'm zooming it to David and David's putting it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
link using the ODB, and then he's going to download it and put it on a memory card and send the whole thing up to me. Because in total, it's going to be about 2 hours. Because my sister wants to do the service at the church, which could be up to an hour. And then at the graveside as well, which will be another 15, 20 minutes. And it's only like a 5-minute drive from the church to the cemetery.
Yeah, definitely get there early though, so you guys, just in case you guys run into any technical issues.
Oh, I'm going to be setting up about 11 o'clock because I've
Yeah.
got to be back at my mum's house for 11:30 because that's when the funeral cars are arriving. Even though the funeral is not until 12 and it's only 2 minutes drive from the house to the church.
It's amazing up here, Mark. They a lot of churches offer that service for you, and they have all the technology that you need, and so they just say, hey, do you want it? You want it online, and it's kind of a nice little offering that they offer.
Yeah, they did it here for a lot of things while COVID was on because they were limiting the amount of people that could go to a funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Sarah's mom's dad, that they did his on a live thing, and then they gave her like this little fancy wooden box with a USB drive in it that had it all downloaded on it.
All right.
And she got this like really fancy little box that it came in, little wooden box.
Uh-huh.
My buddy who passed away in August, I didn't film his because I was too close to him to work. But his daughter, I filmed his daughters many years ago, and then I also filmed his wife's dad and her mom, and I filmed both of those and put them online for him. So, but I didn't film Tom's because I was just too close to Tom to be working it.
Mm. Well, that's it. I mean, I'm gonna have to set you up
for dinner tonight. Going over to the wife's for dinner tonight. My wife and I. That's if I'm.
All right.
My wife said, "Don't go if you're sick." So I've got to decide in the next hour or so whether I've got a cold. I don't want to get her sick. So my wife is leaving me home.
Chicken noodle soup for dinner, then, is it?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, if you have soup, and just put me in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have it all set up, and I mean, you can click on the link now, and it just tells you that it's going to be going live in 2 days,
Right.
and
He's
tell
got it
you what
pre-scheduled.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good though. Give yourself some extra leeway and get there early, just in case y'all run into something stupid.
That's it. Yeah. It shouldn't be difficult because we did it
No.
Tuesday from my house, kind of thing.
Because pretty much,
we set up a Zoom call and he did it, and we went onto YouTube and checked that it was all working and it's fine.
well, he's doing it
Okay.
to his channel as unlisted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
ODB.
yeah, all you got to do is join
Yeah.
as a guest, and then he just puts you as full screen, and then he just stays in the background muted, and you're good.
Well, no, I mean we're not even doing that. I'm just sending him. I'm just doing Zoom call to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
then
and then
he can put you as the full screen.
Zoom onto YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, and he's just going to sit there. Then no audio on it anywhere, no chat on it. just the audio from the Zoom call.
Oh, so he's setting it so you don't have a live chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
We decided that we didn't really need them doing anything like that. They're there just to watch it, not to chat amongst themselves.
What did I do with my key?
Does the church have like Wi-Fi you can connect to have good signal or what?
I don't need it. I've got unlimited data on my phone account. It'd be too much hassle trying to attach to their Wi-Fi and then having the car journey to the cemetery and then in the cemetery as well. It's easier just to leave it on mobile data.
I'm gonna jump off. I'll catch you all later.
Hey, Justin.
Later.
Are you back at work?
Yeah, I'm gotta go back in here in a couple hours, so I'm gonna jump off and go lay down for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'll see y'all later.
Yep, see you later.
Okay.
Later.
So Joe, what are you doing today? You gonna fly?
Well, no, it's gloomy, kind of gloomy, but it looks like the sun might be trying to come up. It's going to be more humid today.
Well,
Well,
you
actually, tomorrow
you-
we're going to 76 tomorrow.
need to keep flying your Neo.
No,
We've got a really nice sunny day today, which is a damn nuisance because apparently it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday morning.
well, Friday is going to rain. It looks like here.
Yeah. Don't need to be stood in a cemetery in the rain. What are we on? 7 degrees C at the moment. And it's going to go down to 2 overnight.
Do like a Blue Angels flight there, Joe, with your Neo and your Flip.
Oh, it says it's going to be sunny tomorrow and raining on Friday morning. Yeah, typical.
Am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
No,
Yeah,
No,
we
we
can
hear
hear
you.
I just ignored that statement.
You're no fun.
They better give me my refund back on that Flip today. I'm gonna go off on them.
They're sending it back. I called him and
Yeah.
said, send it back. He really does want it.
I
Sunset
really don't.
4:45.
All it says is refunding. They've received it.
I don't think I'm gonna do too much flying today.
No ships?
No, the wind is 30, 35 miles an hour tops, 18 miles an hour bottom.
That hasn't stopped you before.
You have
No,
a
but
two F.
there's no ships out there, so I don't think I'd take the Neo out in that wind.
Well, definitely not. No.
I
Hey,
don't
send
know
the
if
Neo.
Joe does.
Send a Neo.
Joe sends a Neo in that kind of wind, don't you, Joe?
Yeah, right. It was like 8 miles an hour the other day, and the thing was flying upside down almost.
Marcus put a video out on the Flip yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ken Heron put video out on the Neo and the Flip. I'm not a big proponent of Ken Heron, but he does do some interesting stuff.
Yeah. He's all right. He's quite amusing at times.
There's only one guy that
He's-
drives me nuts, and it's not him. Actually, two guys.
He's a bit antagonistic sometimes, but
I watched his one that he had Barkley, and that was kind of cool.
yeah. He used to do a lot with Barkley. I like the one that he did with Barkley where they checked the range by strapping the drone to the roof of Barkley's truck,
Yeah.
and instead of flying it, they just drove.
Yep, he pushes it. He pushes it.
I don't see it.
What?
I don't see Ken's. I'll find it. Oh,
Let me see if I can find it.
I got it.
You found it?
Yeah, I went to his channel.
Yeah. That was what I did looking for Paul this morning. Went onto his channel and just sat there and waited. Ooh, one of my memories on Facebook today was from 10 years ago. And it shows my car parked in my driveway at the front, absolutely covered in snow.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
And that's the Omega, or the Cadillac Catara as it was badged.
Yeah, you see, he's flying. It's following him around inside. Mine
Yeah.
won't do that.
Well, if you notice, his seems to fly really good indoors.
Yeah, mine won't do that. Mine will go crazy.
Of course, that adds to the discussion we've had many times that your drone might be defective.
No, it's Joe that's defective.
Oh, it's Joe that's defective. I see.
Send it to me, Joe. I'll put it through its paces.
Have you tried flying the Neo inside the school?
Yep, works perfectly.
Does it
It's
give
the
you any
pilot.
kind of warnings like textured environment and stuff like this?
Not that I've seen. I
As soon as
will.
I turn it on, it tells me, it says something, I can't make out what the first part is. It says textured environment.
Well, you got Carry Fresh on it, don't you?
And
Send the damn thing back. They just send you a new one.
I need to contact them, I really do. See, the problem is the filters, the magnetic thing's glued on there because of the thing. I have to take that off. Then I can't use it anymore. It's just all around a pain. You see, if it would fly like this, I'd be happy with it.
Well, that's the report I get from everybody that has the Neo. That they do
No.
fly indoors and they don't have any issues or
They've got other people that every time it gets in any dark places, it goes crazy, even if it's indoors or outdoors. Now that wait.
did you see the part where he
Oh.
goes in the elevator?
Hold on a minute. Yeah, that's the Avata too, Paul.
No. it's the Neo. Because they bring it down and hover it right in front of them in
Oh, that's
the
the Avata
elevator.
too. I thought I saw Neo in the very beginning. The Neo in the very beginning. But in the elevator is the Avata too.
Well, keep watching it. When it gets to the next level, it flies out and the girl's holding the camera and it's the Neo coming out of the elevator.
We'll keep going. Yeah, it's the Avata, that's the Avata 2 in the elevator. With the girl holding the camera.
Well, knowing him, he's probably doctored all that stuff up.
The Avata 2 will do that. I can find the Avata 2 in here. But he flew the Neo around inside. Now, it's buffered. And he flew the Neo around very in the first part of it.
He had one spot where it lost his face or his body, and it latched onto another guy walking through the crowd.
Yeah, it locked onto the other guy.
Two older gentlemen that.
Yeah, when it locked onto him, that's when he put it away, and then he went with the Avata 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Now you see, I have told it to follow me in here, and I started walking, and it followed me for a second. Then it says attitude mode. Took off. It took off because my daughter was sitting there when it did it. Just took off, hit my chair, flipped over.
Well, I think there's something wrong with yours.
I think it's a deal.
The pilot.
No, it's a defective Neo. And you
I see.
don't follow through by calling DJI and say, what the hell's going on with this Neo?
I have seen too many of them on there that complain about it for the same reason.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that you have the only defective one. It could have gone through several of them.
Mhm.
Inconvenience. Yeah, the Avata 2 is good inside. But I don't want to fly that one in here.
Boy, the reporters are thick over there in in the Senate because they're just getting ready to start the confirmation hearing for Robert F. Kennedy.
But yeah, that's going to be the only thing on today.
Mhm.
Oh, well, it looks like the sun's trying to come out today. Hey, Cleo. Yeah, she got the light. She's over here laying down on her side on top of the pillow. You gonna see me? Don't did it again. Had this one little place on my arm where I might have been a pimple or something. And about a week ago, I scratched it and didn't realize it, and it started bleeding. Right, so I forget about it there, and I reach back there because some itches. I scratch it and knock it off every time. I put a Band-Aid on it or something, so quit scratching it. Oh, the girls won last night. I don't know about the boys, but the girls beat SSA, which is a good team.
Ah,
They're 18-6 on the season, 3-0 in district. Last year they were in a semifinal game and got beat bad in the semifinal. So hopefully they're gonna keep going this year.
well, Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, it's getting kind of quiet.
Yeah, it's a little quiet in here. We got 13 people watching, but it's just not much going on.
Justin, what do you think? Time to pack it in?
Justin's outside working on the call.
Justin already packed it in.
Joe,
Okay, everybody, we'll see you
just-
again later today.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah.
Bye for
Oh,
now.